Welcome to our professional training series in divination, tarot, and astrology. The following training in tarot was developed for students that are going through the courses with the School of our Divine Infinite Being. We wanted to make our training available to the general public here on YouTube, while also encouraging those interested in a career as a divination professional in astrology and tarot to check out our programs at www.divineinfinitebeing.com. We have post-graduation program assistance that you will not find anywhere else. This includes live video consultation technology, calendar booking, social share tools, affiliate program development, e-commerce, and the opportunity to take clients from the marketing efforts of our talented in-house staff. Again, you will find all of this at www.divineinfinitebeing.com. Sponsored by astrologypro.com, the #1 platform for astrologers and tarot readers to operate their divination services. We hope you enjoy this training. Welcome everyone. Today we will be speaking about the Tower card in the tarot. For those of you that practice divination, and especially those working with sudden change, disruption, or the breaking down of false structures, this is a very important card. And of course, for those of you practicing tarot within our school, here at the School of our Divine Infinite Being, the Tower becomes a key archetype to understand. This archetype connects you to the force of upheaval and revelation, where illusions are shattered and truth is exposed, often in ways that cannot be ignored. It reflects moments of collapse that ultimately clear the way for something more real and stable to emerge. So I'm going to get into a description of what you see on the card, and then we'll go deeper into the symbolism through the following slides. This isn't done in any specific order, more of a top-down approach on the card itself, just to make it easier for you to follow the arrows. If you'll notice, the arrows on the left are associated with the descriptions on the right, so I'm just going to read them top-down. The Roman numeral 16 represents sudden upheaval, the destruction of false beliefs, and the awakening to deeper truths. Eye of Horus represents the divine blast of revelation, the fiery light of awakened consciousness that shatters illusion and exposes truth through the force of divine insight. Dove symbolizes the descent of spirit and grace amid destruction, the gentle current of peace that accompanies revelation, balancing the fiery energy with divine compassion. Lion serpent ex nubis or abraxas embodies the fusion of solar power and serpentine wisdom, the liberated life force that rises from chaos, signifying creative energy reborn from the ruins of form. Symbol Mars symbolizes the force of destruction and conflict that can lead to transformative change, highlighting the necessity of facing challenges to achieve growth. God of Mars represents the raw, explosive force of transformation, the planetary current of Mars that destroys confinement and propels the soul toward renewal and awakened freedom. Falling Figures symbolizes the abrupt collapse of ego and stability, reflecting the consequences of ignoring warnings and the necessity of confronting uncomfortable truths. The Tower symbolizes the abrupt collapse of ego and stability, reflecting the consequences of ignoring warnings and the necessity of confronting uncomfortable truths. Truth symbolizes the harsh reality unveiled by sudden upheaval, signifying that recognizing and accepting these truths is essential for genuine transformation and liberation. Ego Psychology symbolizes the breakdown of ego defenses and illusions, indicating that confronting this destruction is essential for achieving true self-awareness and inner transformation. Mars Astrology symbolizes the aggressive energy and urgency of upheaval, highlighting the necessity to confront conflict and chaos to facilitate significant personal transformation. Eye of Horus, the divine gaze of revelation, illumination amidst destruction. Force of divine perception. The Eye of Horus, under the Tower, represents the blazing force of divine awareness that pierces through illusion. It is not a passive symbol of protection, but an active current of revelation, the all-seeing gaze that exposes falsehood and awakens consciousness through lightning-like insight. Instrument of destruction in renewal. This eye functions as the agent of the divine word, P, the mouth, whose utterance manifests as the lightning bolt that shatters the tower. The destruction it causes is sacred. It clears away deception, egoic pride, and outdated structures so that truth may stand revealed. Beacon of higher consciousness. Amid chaos, the eye radiates the wisdom of higher order, reminding the seeker that every collapse carries divine purpose. It illuminates the path forward when all else has fallen, guiding the soul towards spiritual freedom beyond form. Witness of the eternal. The eye is the presence that observes without attachment. It is the witness consciousness that survives the storm. By identifying with this awareness, one transcends the destruction and perceives the unfolding of cosmic order behind apparent chaos. The Eye of Horus in the tower thus embodies the penetrating vision of divine intelligence, the fiery perception that destroys illusion, reveals truth, and restores clarity to the awakened soul. Dove. Grace descending amid chaos. The spirit of renewal in the tower. Messenger of peace through upheaval. The dove under the tower represents the descent of divine grace amid destruction. It signifies that even as old forms collapse, the higher spirit intervenes with serenity, offering the soul reassurance that peace survives beyond the storm. Bearer of spiritual illumination. Emerging from the lightning and flames, the dove embodies enlightenment born from crisis. It reflects the truth that through destruction, consciousness is purified, revealing divine harmony where once there was confusion. Symbol of rebirth through purification. In Crowley's tower, the dove balances the violent current of Mars with the descending spirit of light. It marks the soul's rebirth through fire, the renewal that follows the cleansing of falsehoods and rigid structures. Union of mercy and force. The dove tempers the destructive fire with compassion, reminding us that creation and destruction are not opposites, but partners in the divine process. Its flight reveals that mercy coexists with judgment, guiding transformation toward wisdom. The dove in the tower thus represents the reconciliation of chaos and grace, the promise that every cataclysm conceals the descent of peace, and that illumination often arises from the very flames that consume illusion. Lion Serpent ex nubis or Abraxas. The alchemical fusion of fire and spirit, awakening through destruction. Union of opposites. The lion serpent, an ancient Gnostic emblem of Abraxas, signifies the union of solar fire, lion, and serpentine wisdom, serpent. Within the tower, this fusion represents the reconciliation of spirit and matter, where the fiery power of Mars meets the coiling current of transformation. It reveals that destruction and enlightenment arise from the same divine force. Catalyst of regeneration. The lion serpent embodies the creative fire that destroys in order to renew. In Crowley's tower, it mirrors the purging of corrupt forms, beliefs, structures, and egos, so that purer consciousness may emerge. Through this fiery purification, the soul is reborn, tempered like gold through flame. Hidden wisdom of chaos. The serpent's coiling form suggests latent knowledge awakened by crisis. When struck by lightning, this energy ascends, transforming instinct into illumination. The chaos of the tower becomes the field where primal wisdom rises from below to merge with celestial fire above. Balance of divine and demonic forces. Abraxas embodies both creative and destructive powers, the totality of existence. Under the tower, this duality symbolizes liberation through confrontation with one's inner shadow, showing that even the most tumultuous forces serve divine evolution when consciously embraced. Lion Serpent ex nobis thus represents the sacred energy of transformation that burns away illusion and kindles divine awareness. It is the fire serpent of enlightenment, at once destroyer and creator, guiding the soul to ascend from chaos into conscious unity. Mars symbol. The warrior within, embracing action and passion. Catalyst for necessary transformation. The symbol of Mars embodies the raw energy and aggression that can ignite sudden change. Under the Tower card, this energy indicates that the upheaval experienced is not random. It is a necessary catalyst for dismantling outdated beliefs and structures that hinder personal growth. Confronting inner and outer conflicts. Mars urges individuals to face both internal and external conflicts directly. The chaos of the Tower can expose underlying fears, insecurities, and unaddressed issues, compelling individuals to confront these challenges. This process is crucial for building resilience and fostering a deeper understanding of one's true self. Embracing the chaos for growth. The presence of Mars signifies the importance of embracing chaos as a transformative process. Rather than avoiding disruption, individuals are encouraged to lean into the uncertainty, recognizing that it often serves as a powerful agent for change. This willingness to engage with chaos can lead to significant personal breakthroughs and insights. Pathway to rebirth and renewal. Mars highlights that destruction is often a precursor to rebirth. The tower's collapse represents the end of old patterns and habits, creating space for new beginnings. This cycle of destruction and renewal allows individuals to emerge with renewed energy, clarity, and a stronger sense of purpose, ready to pursue their true ambitions. Harnessing empowerment through conflict. Ultimately, the Mars symbol under the Tower card empowers individuals to transform conflict into motivation. By recognizing that challenges can lead to growth, individuals can channel the energy of Mars to take decisive action in their lives, pushing beyond limitations and achieving their goals with newfound strength and determination. The symbol of Mars under the Tower card highlights the critical role of destruction and conflict as catalysts for transformative change. The chaos represented by the Tower urges individuals to confront their fears and outdated beliefs, fostering resilience and self-awareness. God of Mars, the Divine Warrior, destruction as the gateway to liberation. Force of purification. The God of Mars governs the eruptive energy that dismantles illusion. Within the Tower, this force embodies divine will acting through destruction, shattering false stability so that truth and clarity may arise from the ruins. It is not blind violence, but the sacred fire that purifies consciousness. Catalyst for necessary upheaval. Mars's energy propels transformation through confrontation. The chaos of the Tower mirrors the martial principle that growth demands struggle. Only through crisis can stagnation be overcome, revealing new pathways for evolution and strength. Revelation through conflict. The God of Mars embodies active revelation, the moment when suppressed truths explode into awareness. This intensity compels individuals to face their fears, to recognize what must end, and to harness that released energy toward constructive renewal. Transmutation of power. In Crowley's symbolism, Mars governs the alchemy of will. The destruction of the Tower becomes an act of transmutation, turning raw passion and anger into courage and insight. This marks the refinement of personal will into divine purpose. Divine order within chaos. Though Mars appears as the god of war, his essence in the Tower reveals cosmic order hidden within upheaval. The destruction he brings is an act of cosmic balance, clearing the way for regeneration and enlightenment to emerge from apparent ruin. Falling figures. Plummeting into change. The cost of ignoring truth. Sudden ego collapse. The falling figures vividly illustrate the abrupt and often shocking collapse of the ego, symbolizing how deeply ingrained self-identities can be shattered. This collapse forces individuals to confront their illusions of control and stability, highlighting the vulnerability of their constructed sense of self and prompting a critical reassessment of who they truly are. Failure to heed warnings. The descent of the figures serves as a stark reminder of the consequences that arise from ignoring intuitive warnings and external signals. This moment reflects the idea that avoiding necessary changes or suppressing feelings can lead to catastrophic outcomes. The Tower's upheaval signifies that ignoring red flags can culminate in a dramatic awakening, urging individuals to recognize and address issues before they escalate. Confrontation with hidden realities. The falling figures represent the imperative to confront uncomfortable truths that individuals may have long avoided. This moment of crisis encourages them to face personal failures, toxic relationships, or unhealthy habits. Acknowledging these hidden realities is crucial for breaking free from denial and fostering authentic growth. Opportunity for radical transformation. The chaos embodied by the falling figures acts as a catalyst for radical transformation. While the experience can be distressing, it provides a unique opportunity for individuals to dismantle outdated beliefs and patterns that no longer serve them. This process can lead to significant personal breakthroughs, enabling them to rebuild their lives with a renewed sense of purpose and direction. Pathway to renewal and empowerment. Ultimately, the falling figures underscore the idea that embracing the chaos of the Tower can lead to empowerment and renewal. By acknowledging the lessons learned from their fall, individuals can harness this experience to foster resilience and adaptability, emerging from the turmoil with a clearer vision for their future and a stronger commitment to living authentically. The falling figures under the Tower card serve as a stark representation of the abrupt collapse of ego and stability, highlighting the critical consequences of ignoring warnings and avoiding uncomfortable truths. The Tower, the pillar of chaos, embracing transformation through upheaval. Sudden collapse of ego and stability. The Tower underlines the dramatic and unexpected collapse of the ego and personal stability. This imagery conveys that rigid self-identities and false sense of security can shatter in an instant, forcing individuals to face the chaos that arises from their shattered illusions. The experience serves as a wake-up call, compelling individuals to reassess their values and beliefs in light of their vulnerability. Consequences of ignoring critical warnings. This card highlights the severe consequences of ignoring both internal and external warnings that indicate the need for change. When individuals fail to acknowledge signs of instability in their lives, such as deteriorating relationships or persistent dissatisfaction, they risk facing a more catastrophic breakdown. The Tower serves as a stark reminder that neglecting these signals can culminate in a profound crisis, leading to an unavoidable confrontation with reality. Facing uncomfortable truths for growth. The Tower emphasizes the necessity of confronting uncomfortable truths. The upheaval it represents encourages individuals to acknowledge the fears and failures they have long avoided, whether these are personal flaws or toxic patterns in their lives. By facing these uncomfortable realities, individuals can dismantle denial and ultimately pave the way for authentic growth and transformation. The Tower under the Tower card vividly represents the sudden collapse of ego and stability, emphasizing the dramatic consequences that result from ignoring critical warnings in one's life. This imagery starkly illustrates that rigid self-identities and false senses of security can disintegrate in a moment, compelling individuals to confront the chaos that arises from their shattered illusions. Keyword truth. The shattering of illusions. Confronting hard realities. Confrontation with self-deception. The Tower card illustrates a moment of crisis that reveals personal self-deception. This upheaval forces individuals to face the lies they've told themselves about their relationships, careers, or life choices. For instance, someone might realize they have been in a toxic relationship for years but have ignored the signs. This confrontation is crucial for breaking free from a false narrative that has hindered personal growth. Awakening to reality. The sudden chaos of the Tower serves as a wake-up call, prompting a reevaluation of long-held beliefs. Individuals may find themselves reassessing their values and priorities when confronted with the collapse of their perceived stability. For example, a person might lose a job they believed was secure, leading them to reevaluate their career path and recognize their true passions that they had suppressed. Emotional release and healing. Accepting the truths that emerge from the Tower's upheaval can lead to significant emotional release. This process allows individuals to confront and process buried feelings, such as grief, anger, or disappointment. For instance, someone might finally grieve the end of a significant relationship, leading to catharsis and healing, which paves the way for emotional growth and resilience. Transformational shift in perspective. The truths revealed by the Tower encourage a transformational shift in perspective. By embracing the uncomfortable realities of their lives, individuals can develop a more profound understanding of themselves and their circumstances. This shift often leads to the dismantling of limiting beliefs, such as the fear of failure, enabling them to pursue new opportunities with confidence and clarity. Building a resilient future. Ultimately, acknowledging and accepting the harsh truths unveiled by the Tower lays the groundwork for a more resilient future. By facing reality head-on, individuals can rebuild their lives on a foundation of honesty and authenticity. This newfound clarity empowers them to navigate future challenges more effectively, fostering a sense of purpose and direction as they move forward in their lives. The Tower card highlights the critical role of confronting harsh realities revealed by sudden upheaval. This card symbolizes the pivotal moment when individuals are forced to face the uncomfortable truths they have long avoided, such as self-deception in relationships or misaligned career paths. Ego psychology. Ego collapse, rebuilding after the fall of illusions. Destruction of defense mechanisms. The Tower card signifies the breakdown of deeply ingrained psychological defense mechanisms like repression, denial, and projection. These defenses protect the ego from painful realities, but when the tower falls, they are shattered. For example, someone who has long repressed feelings of inadequacy may be suddenly confronted with their deepest insecurities, making them painfully aware of the emotions they've worked hard to ignore, shattering the ego's false sense of control. The tower also represents the collapse of the ego's illusion of control. People often cling to external factors like career success, social status, or material wealth as a way to maintain stability and power. When these fall apart, such as through a job loss or relationship breakdown, the ego's sense of control is revealed to be an illusion, forcing the individual to face the uncertainty and lack of control they've denied. This realization can dismantle the rigid need for predictability, unveiling repressed psychological truths. Beneath the ego's facade lie repressed emotions and experiences that the individual has avoided dealing with. The tower's fall exposes these long-buried truths. For instance, an individual who has always been overly confident in public may suddenly confront their deep-rooted fears of rejection or failure. This exposure forces a reckoning with the unresolved psychological content they've hidden, leading to an uncomfortable but necessary emotional awakening. Collapse of constructed identities. Many individuals adopt false identities such as the perfect parent, successful professional, or people pleaser to gain approval or avoid rejection. The Tower card represents the collapse of these identities, especially when life events undermine the roles they've built around themselves. For example, a person may lose a long-held position of power and be left questioning their worth beyond that role. This dismantling leads to the painful yet critical process of discovering their true self beyond socially constructed personas. Emotional and psychological crisis. The destruction of the tower often triggers a psychological crisis where the individual experiences intense emotional turmoil. Feelings of despair, confusion, and fear arise as the ego tries to hold on to its old structures. For example, someone going through a divorce might feel as though their entire identity is crumbling. This emotional crisis is a sign of the ego's resistance to change, making the process of confronting these truths even more challenging and transformative. Reconstructing the self with authenticity. After the tower's destruction, individuals have the opportunity to rebuild their sense of self on a more authentic and grounded foundation. This involves letting go of the ego's need for external validation and accepting one's imperfections and vulnerabilities. For example, someone who has always defined themselves by external success might now seek meaning through personal fulfillment and self-acceptance. This rebuilding process allows for true self-awareness, integrating both the strengths and weaknesses of one's personality. The Tower card's symbolism in ego psychology illustrates the necessary breakdown of ego defenses, false identities, and illusions of control that individuals construct to protect themselves from uncomfortable truths. Mars astrology, aggression and upheaval, Mars as a force for transformation. Mars is a force of aggressive destruction. Mars's astrological influence drives the tower's sudden and violent collapse, representing the aggressive destruction of deeply rooted but flawed systems or personal beliefs. This force doesn't allow for gradual change. It creates abrupt, unavoidable upheaval. For example, a sudden job loss or relationship breakdown caused by long-ignored issues symbolizes Mars' force in breaking apart the ego's defenses and compelling an immediate shift. Urgent confrontation with internal and external conflict. Mars pushes individuals to confront unresolved conflicts head-on. This includes internal battles, such as denial of personal flaws or deep-seated fears, as well as external struggles, like facing toxic relationships or unresolved tensions at work. Mars's urgency under the Tower card forces individuals to take action, even in uncomfortable situations, where avoiding conflict is no longer possible. This confrontation brings to light hidden truths and emotional wounds that have been ignored. Crisis as a catalyst for radical transformation. The chaos initiated by Mars under the Tower card is essential for profound personal transformation. Mars doesn't just destroy for the sake of chaos, it clears the path for something better. After the breakdown, this aggressive energy fuels the rebuilding process, empowering individuals to reconstruct their lives with greater authenticity and self-awareness. The crisis, though painful, leads to significant rebirth, enabling them to emerge stronger and more resilient. The Tower card in Tarot. Mars astrology plays a significant role in understanding the card's themes of destruction, upheaval, and transformation. Mars, the planet associated with aggression, conflict, and assertive energy, drives the chaotic energy of the tower's sudden collapse. Its influence signifies the urgency of facing harsh truths, confronting conflict, and navigating through crisis. What does the tower mean in tarot divination reading? The tower represents sudden upheaval, disruption, and revelation. It symbolizes the breaking down of old structures to make way for new insights and growth. In a divination reading, the tower encourages the seeker to accept and navigate through unexpected changes, upheavals, and revelations with resilience. This card emphasizes the importance of transformation through dismantling old systems or beliefs and embracing the opportunity for renewal. Understanding the meaning of this card in a tarot throw. Up to this point, you have been learning about the intricate details and symbolic meanings associated with this particular card of the Greater Arcana. In the following section, we will delve into various categories and scenarios of interpretation that may present themselves in a reading for you or a client. First, let's review factors that may influence your decision and choice of interpretation. Intuitive read on yourself or the client. Personal connection. Your personal connection or the client's connection to the card can influence its meaning. Tune into your intuition to gauge how the card resonates on a deeper level. Emotional state. Consider the emotional state of yourself or the client, as this can affect how the card's message is perceived and interpreted. Spiritual sensitivity. Be aware of any spiritual sensitivities or inclinations that might shape the card's significance. Placement in a specific tarot layout. Position in the spread. The position of the card in the tarot layout significantly impacts its meaning. For instance, its presence in the past, present, or future positions can alter the interpretation. Role in the layout. Understand the role of the card in specific placements, such as the challenge position, the outcome position, or the advice position, each of which offers a unique perspective. Context of the spread. Different tarot spreads serve different purposes. For example, Celtic Cross, 3-card spread, relationship spread, and the card's role can vary accordingly. Relationship to other cards in the throw. Complementary cards. Look for cards that complement the one in question, enhancing its themes and messages. Contradictory cards. Identify any cards that might contradict it, suggesting a need for balance or highlighting areas of tension and conflict. Major Arcana influence. The presence of other Major Arcana cards can intensify the significance of the card, emphasizing major life themes and spiritual lessons. Suit influence. The suits of surrounding Minor Arcana cards, wands, cups, swords, pentacles, can provide context and detail to the card's message, such as emotional insights from cups or intellectual clarity from swords. Now that we have taken the journey through the symbolism of this card of the Divine Arcana Tarot, let's journey into several relevant points within a divination reading. As you have already noticed, there is much repetition in this training. For our students, this is very important. You will see now how much of the symbolism you have been learning about is repeated in the different categories of a tarot divination reading. The Tower in a divination reading. Astrological representation. Mars. The Tower card aligns with Mars, representing sudden upheaval, conflict, and powerful energy that forces change. Mars is the planet of action, passion, and destruction, often breaking down structures that no longer serve a purpose. Like Mars, the Tower symbolizes the disruption necessary for transformation, pushing you to confront uncomfortable truths. While its energy may feel chaotic, it offers the opportunity to rebuild stronger foundations. The card reflects both the destruction of illusions and the potential for growth through confrontation and release. Sudden change and upheaval. The Tower represents a dramatic shift or event that shakes your foundations. This change may be unexpected and disruptive, forcing you to confront reality and let go of illusions. It reminds you that growth often requires breaking down what no longer serves you. Breaking illusions and revelation. This card reflects the shattering of false beliefs, showing you that what seemed stable was an illusion. The Tower brings clarity through chaos, revealing truths that were previously hidden and prompting new perspectives. Destruction and release. The Tower indicates the destruction of outdated structures or patterns, clearing the way for renewal. It encourages you to release what no longer serves your highest good, even though this process may feel challenging or unsettling. Conflict and resistance. The Tower highlights resistance to change, suggesting that conflict may arise when holding on to the old. It reminds you that resisting inevitable transformation can create greater tension and disruption in the long run. Awakening and transformation. This card symbolizes a powerful awakening that transforms your life. It encourages you to embrace the opportunity for personal growth, knowing that even in destruction, there is potential for renewal and rebirth. Liberation from constraints. The Tower offers the chance to break free from limitations and oppressive circumstances. It signifies the release from restrictions, even if that freedom initially feels unsettling or overwhelming. Chaos leading to clarity. The Tower reflects the chaos that precedes clarity. It teaches you that moments of upheaval and disorder are often necessary to clear the way for insight and a deeper understanding of yourself and your path. Rebuilding stronger foundations. This card encourages rebuilding after destruction, teaching that from the rubble of the past, stronger foundations can emerge. It reminds you that even in loss, there is the opportunity to create something more aligned with your truth. Forced growth and acceptance. The Tower card urges you to embrace growth, even when it is forced upon you. It teaches that the path to wisdom often involves accepting unexpected change and learning to adapt with grace and resilience. 10 common card placement positions. Past influence. Upright. The Tower in the past position reflects a sudden upheaval or major life event that significantly shaped your present. A shocking revelation, loss, or dramatic change forced you to confront illusions, leading to personal growth. Reversed. It suggests that a disruptive event from the past was avoided or delayed, leaving unresolved issues lingering. The lack of closure may still influence your current situation, requiring attention before you can fully move forward. Present situation. Upright. In the present position, the Tower indicates that you are currently experiencing a powerful transformation or disruption. The card urges you to embrace this upheaval as an opportunity to release outdated beliefs and rebuild stronger foundations. Reversed, it suggests that you may be resisting change, trying to hold on to stability even though it's crumbling. This resistance can lead to prolonged tension. The card encourages surrender, as letting go can bring unexpected clarity and renewal. Future outcome. Upright. In the future position, the Tower warns of an upcoming sudden change or revelation. Though it may initially feel unsettling, this transformation will clear away illusions, paving the way for new beginnings and deeper truth. Reversed, it suggests that future change may come gradually, or you may be able to mitigate some of its impact by taking proactive steps. However, ignoring the need for transformation could result in eventual upheaval down the line. Obstacles or challenges. Upright. As an obstacle, the Tower suggests difficulty accepting the inevitability of change. You may be clinging to outdated structures, beliefs, or relationships that are no longer sustainable, creating inner or external conflict. Reversed, it indicates that fear of disruption may be holding you back from making necessary changes. Avoidance of difficult conversations or decisions can prolong instability. The challenge is to confront what needs to change before it escalates. Advice or guidance. Upright. The Tower advises you to embrace change and allow the old structures to fall away. It encourages you to release control and trust the process of transformation, knowing that even chaos can lead to greater clarity and growth. Reversed, the card advises you to reflect on where you are resisting necessary change. It suggests that trying to prevent upheaval may delay progress. The guidance is to face your fears and let go of what no longer serves your highest good. External influences. Upright. The Tower in this position suggests that external circumstances are contributing to upheaval in your life. You may be dealing with unexpected events or disruptions that are outside your control, forcing you to adapt and grow. Reversed, it indicates that external instability may be brewing beneath the surface. creating subtle tension. You may not yet see the full impact of these forces, but it's essential to prepare for potential changes and respond with flexibility. Hopes and fears. Upright. The Tower reflects a hope for liberation from oppressive structures or limiting beliefs. However, it also highlights a fear of losing control or stability, as change often feels unsettling and unpredictable. Reversed. Reversed, it suggests a fear of change or upheaval that prevents you from taking necessary steps forward. You may worry about the unknown, fearing that transformation will bring loss rather than growth. This card encourages you to trust in renewal, outcome, or resolution. Upright. The Tower as an outcome indicates that significant change is inevitable, but it will ultimately lead to a clearer, more authentic path. Though the process may feel difficult, the resolution will bring new opportunities and personal growth. Reversed. Reversed, it warns that avoiding change may result in delayed resolution. The card suggests that transformation will happen eventually, whether gradual or sudden. Embracing the process now will help you rebuild more smoothly in the future. Current influences. Upright. The Tower as a current influence suggests that you are in a phase of rapid change or transformation. Your environment or mindset may be shifting dramatically, urging you to let go of what no longer serves you and adapt to new realities. Reversed. Reversed, it indicates that you may be resisting the energy of change, clinging to familiar but unstable foundations. Internal or external tension may be growing, and the card encourages you to explore where adjustments are needed to regain balance. Key theme or lesson. Upright. The key theme of the Tower card is transformation through disruption. The lesson is to embrace sudden change as an opportunity to break free from illusions and rebuild on stronger, more authentic foundations. Reversed. Reversed. The lesson lies in recognizing the danger of resisting transformation. The Tower reminds you that growth requires letting go, even when it feels uncomfortable. Avoidance only delays progress, while acceptance leads to liberation. Exploring the enigma, unveiling the wisdom of the Tower card in tarot through the insights of occult visionaries.
Aleister Crowley. The Tower is the eye of Shiva, the destructive force of pure energy, bringing ruin to what has been built on falsehoods. It is the breakdown of old structures to make way for new spiritual enlightenment. The Book of Thoth, 1944. Arthur Edward Waite. The Tower represents the ruin of the house of falsehood. It is the overthrow of existing conditions, the end of everything that has been thus far built up, and the necessary purification. The Pictorial Key to the Tarot, 1911. Rachel Pollack. The Tower is the card of destruction and revelation. It shows what happens when we build a life based on falsehoods or assumptions, and how truth, no matter how painful, brings liberation. 78 Degrees of Wisdom, 1980. Paul Foster Case. The Tower represents the destruction of man-made institutions and beliefs, an event which is always followed by the revelation of truth. What seems like catastrophe is often an opportunity for enlightenment. The Tarot, a Key to the Wisdom of the Ages, 1947. Manly P. Hall. The Tower signifies the materialistic structures of the mind being shattered by the force of spiritual awakening. This card speaks to the need for humbling pride and a breakdown of false perceptions. The Secret Teachings of All Ages, 1928. Mary K. Greer. The Tower represents sudden and unexpected change. It calls for the destruction of outworn patterns, belief systems, or structures that no longer serve you, allowing a clearer perception of reality. Tarot for Yourself, 1984. Sally Nichols. The Tower depicts the inevitable collapse of structures that are built upon an unstable foundation. It reveals the necessary release of pent-up psychic energy for transformation to occur. Jung and Tarot, An Archetypal Journey, 1980. Lon Milo Duquette. The Tower is not only destruction but also liberation. It is the breaking down of barriers to divine insight, representing the force of change and the enlightenment that follows the fall. Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot, 2003. Liz Dean. The Tower reveals sudden, unexpected change, often destructive, but always transformative. It shows the dismantling of old beliefs, allowing new growth to emerge from the ruins. The Ultimate Guide to Tarot, 2015. Gareth Knight. The Tower represents the catastrophic end of a false way of life. It symbolizes liberation through destruction, as the illusion collapses and clears the path for the true revelation. The Magical World of the Tarot, 1991.